These two dudes have promised to play nice for this segment. DraftKings contributors Kenny Ducey and Steve Buchanan. Okay, you promised me. Need both of your favorite picks on tonight's 11-game main slate. Steve, let's talk pitcher. I saw in your article on DK Nation you think Trevor Bauer's in a good spot tonight. He's going to cost you 10-2, but there was a cheaper option you liked as well.
Yeah, much cheaper option, and I think it's the way you should be going on this slate. Brandon Woodruff going up against the Cubs. I'm sure I'm probably taking Kenny's pick because Kenny just loves to harp on the Cubs. But you know what? If there's one thing that Kenny has been right about so far this season, which is a sentence you will not hear often, is that the Cubs offense has been absolutely atrocious. Woodruff is 7,500 tonight and is going up against a Cubs offense that so far this season, a 236 WOBA, a 113 isolated power, and a 48 WRC plus. That WOBA and WRC plus are the worst in the league against righties so far this season. They also are a team that is struggling against the fastball, which Woodruff is throwing over 60% of the time in his starts all throughout his career. So going against a team with all those numbers and a 29.6 K percentage against righties, Woodruff is an absolute steal at 7,500 tonight.
All right, Kenny, did Steve take your pick?
Surprisingly, he did not. I do love Brandon Woodruff on this slate, but I could talk about someone else here. And it's going to be a little bit of a surprise because Steve thinks that I love the Yankees so much. Hyun-Jin Ryu at $8,000. You want to talk about value? You want to talk about a guy that's way too cheap? It's Ryu. I mean, the guy from the left side where the Yankees really struggled. They had a 97 WRC plus against lefties last year, which was 19th in the league. They're significantly worse against lefties. And you saw it last night. Against Robbie Ray, maybe the worst lefty in the league, the Yankees couldn't hit him. They really struggle against left-handed pitching, and I think that Ryu is in a good spot here. The Yankees have just lost their way on offense. It's really bad when Rougned Odor is the only guy getting singles for you here. The Yankees are the three true outcome kings of the league right now, and the problem is one of those outcomes ain't happening, and it's the home runs. I mean, they got by last night with 2 home runs from Kyle Higashioka. That's just not sustainable. This offense does not look good, and I love Ryu tonight at $8,000 at home for the Blue Jays.
All right, what about an infielder that you're looking to build around, Kenny?
Yeah, this is maybe a little surprising, maybe a little out there, but Yoan Moncada here at $4,500. I know what you're thinking. Fade Trevor Bauer, fade him with Yoan Moncada. Well, Moncada, like quietly, 362 xWOBA. You know he's going to hit cleanup in this lineup. He's not the worst option here. And, you know, what have we really seen from Shane Bieber this year that's shown us that we just can't fade him, right? Like, two bad starts in a row, one of them against the Tigers, who I think they have a great lineup, and we'll get to that later. I don't think that he's going to shut down this White Sox lineup that can hit righties very well. And if you look at Moncada's career, he hits much better power-wise from the left side than from the right side. So he's going to be batting left here against the righty Bieber. I think that he could have a very good chance that he hits a home run tonight, at very least drives in a few runs here and gets you over 10 fantasy points. Like Yoan Moncada, I like the price on him at $4,500.
All right, where are you going for this one, Steve?
Yeah, so you're getting Woodruff in your lineup. You have some money to spend. So I'm going to go right with Corey Seager at $5,500 against the Rockies and Antonio Senzatella. He struggled more against lefties away from Coors Field last season, which seems like that should be the complete opposite. But last year he had a 406 WOBA, a 7.72 FIP, and 4 of the 9 home runs he allowed. Now, Seager hasn't been the offensive juggernaut that we've seen in the playoffs, and last year still searching for his first home run of the year, but he still has a 495 WOBA and a 171 isolated power against righties. So putting those two things together, love the Dodgers tonight. Of course, when don't you love the Dodgers in any game, quite frankly, but I think Corey Seager is someone you can pay up for, and someone that's not going to have a ton of ownership because people are going to be looking at all the high price pitching options that are going tonight. 3 studs up in that tied 10K range, but Seager is somebody, and the Dodgers, quite frankly, that are in a great spot here tonight against the Rockies.
All right, Steve, talk to me about outfielders. Where are you going to go here?
Yeah, Austin Meadows at 4,800, getting a nice matchup against Kyle Gibson, who has just been off to a putrid start. I mean, I don't even know what's happening with that guy when he takes them out, but he's consistently been hit hard all throughout his career against lefties. 363 WOBA, 6.78 FIP last year, and 7 of the 12 home runs that he's allowed. Austin Meadows already flexing those muscles with the power already. 3 home runs on the year. He's going to hit high in that lineup, probably second tonight. So Great spot for Meadows, 4,800. Really not all that expensive for someone who's hitting as well as he is. And he's in a great matchup here tonight.
All right, Kenny, who do you like in the outfielder position?
Look, here's the thing. I'm going to stick in this game. And again, you think Bieber and Giolito, not a lot of runs, not a lot of guys from a DFS perspective to look at. Eddie Rosario is getting disrespected here. I know I picked him as a play last week. It didn't really pan out for me, but look at the last two games from Eddie Rosario at $4,400. He was $4,300 and he had a 19 DKFP game. Then what did we do? We priced him at $4,100. The next night he had 16 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Eddie Rosario is heating up. He was the big acquisition for a Cleveland Indians team that's just searching for offense. And from the left side against the righty Giolito has a 43% hard hit rate this year. I like Eddie Rosario's chances of having another good game against Giolito in his career. 2 homers, a 347 xWOBA. You know he's going to be hitting cleanup in that Indians lineup. And again, the guy is coming off 35 DK fantasy points in his last 2 games. He's $4,400. He has the history against Giolito. Giolito has not been fantastic this year. This is another great value for me here in the outfield at 4,400.
Kenny, speaking of value, how about you give us a value play? I mean, you've given us a few, but give us another.
Yeah, well, my boy, I got to go with the Detroit Tigers here because they're so good to me. They beat the Astros last night. Steve doesn't want to give the Tigers offense any credit. He wants to just say Zach Greinke's washed. Zach Greinke wasn't great last night, but he's been good this year. He was good in the postseason last year.
Been good
he
this year. He had 2 starts.
Yeah, the first start was good. The second start was bad. So that averages out to what? Not terrible. I don't know. Look, here's the thing. Robbie Grossman is $3,100. He leads off for the Detroit Tigers. He has the split advantage here. Right? He likes hitting from the left side. He's going to face Jake Odorizzi, a right-hander who, when the Tampa Bay Rays cast you off, 5 years ago, something's wrong. Jake Odorizzi is really not that good. And Robbie Grossman at $3,100 should be in a good position to hit him. And he's shown you that he has over 10 DKFP upside here. 11 2 games ago, 22 the game before that. The guy just gets hits. The guy gets on base. And if the Detroit Tigers, decide to hit again, I think that he'll have another good game. I expect Robbie Grossman to bounce back. He doesn't normally put together a few games in a row without a hit. He's had 2 in a row so far. He's a contact hitter. I love those contact hitters. I think he gets you a couple hits tonight. $3,100 is a very good price for a leadoff hitter against a pretty middling right-hander.
Steve, where are you going for value here?
See, Kenny thinks he knows me so well. Like, he thinks he can read me like a book. But you know what? That doesn't happen because guess what I have in my value spot, Kenny? It's a Tigers bat. And he's even cheaper than Robbie Grossman. You want to get some value? Nomar Mazara is $2,200 tonight. Literally almost the bare minimum. And he's probably batting 5th tonight in that potent Tigers lineup that Kenny just loves to gawk over and kiss before he goes to sleep every night. Mazara is not somebody that you're going to have for big power or anything like that, but you literally don't need him to do much when he's 2,200. Odorizzi, Kenny talked about him, not a great pitcher. I don't know why he's talked about the Rays casting him out 5 years ago, like that has anything to do with anything tonight, but sure, whatever. But last year, Odorizzi, when he last pitched, had a 324 WOBA, 8 of his 16 home runs allowed against lefties. So I think at Mazara at 2,200, you don't need him to do much of anything. I think that's a good value play tonight.
Okay, Steve, let's talk about a sports book bet that you like, that you're kissing every night before you go to bed. What is it?
Yes, I love doing that, kissing everything before I go to bed.
Of course.
I don't want to take this play, but it feels like the right play. I want to take the under in the Yankees and Toronto Blue Jays game under 9 runs. Both teams are 3-7 at hitting the over so far this season. Doing some quick math, that's 6-14. That's not great. That's not great, especially for these lineups. You look at how potent these lineups are. That's not a great number to have. And then you look at the Blue Jays. They're missing hitting the over by over 1.5 runs. So it's not like they're just missing it. They're really missing hitting the over here. So with the struggles that Kenny kind of alluded to with both of these offenses earlier in the segment, again, it's kind of scary to take an under with the Yankees and the Blue Jays, but I think the under 9 runs, which is currently at -103 on the DraftKings Sportsbook, unfortunately, I think that's the play tonight.
Unfortunately, Steve thinks that's the play tonight. I'm not very good at math, Kenny, but Steve kind of has me convinced. So where are you going for your sportsbook bet?
Hey, I took the under opening day with Ryu on the hill because the Yankees can't hit lefties and Garrett Cole was on the other side. I love the under again in the Yankees game. I think you're absolutely right that really both these offenses are sleepwalking to start the year. Okay, Steven.
Well, if you like it, I have to reconsider.
I
Go
like
ahead.
both underdogs here in the Mets Phillies doubleheader. I think that the Phillies are the underdogs in game one. They go up against Taijuan Walker, a career disappointment, 28 years old, just continues to trend in the wrong direction, doesn't have that fastball velocity anymore, walks a ton of hitters, which I think plays into the Phillies' hands a lot here. Against Chase Anderson, who somehow is still in the league. You know, he hasn't been great. He's been going in the wrong direction. Everyone expected him to be out of the league after his performance last year. He's pretty solid in this first start against the Mets, and the Mets haven't necessarily done anything on offense to convince you that they can get to Chase Anderson or pretty much anybody, me, even Steve. So I actually like the Phillies a lot here. I think that their offense has the edge, and I also think that I would give Chase Anderson a slight edge over Taijuan Walker. In game two, Marcus Stroman, it's a little bit weird because he pitched 2 days ago, and he pitched to like 3 hitters. He's going to pitch again tonight, but I think he has the clear advantage over Aaron Nola, who just, no one wants to say it, but he really hasn't really been that good the last couple of years. He's had a lot of issues with his, with his exit velocity allowed. I mean, he's been fine, but like we're expecting this guy to be the ace of the Phillies, one of the best pitchers in the league. He hasn't been that. So I'm kind of taking a wait and see approach with him this season. I think the Mets have a lot of value there with Marcus Stroman on the mound. I like both underdogs, and I might even just parlay him, Jesse.